Agency will meet with the Prime Minister of Qatar and the CIA Director in Warsaw. A lot more to talk about here, so let's bring in Lieutenant Colonel Peter Lerner with the Israel Defense Forces joining us live here. Peter, thank you so much, as always, for taking the time to be here with us.
Hi, Josh. Thank you.
First off, a big question here. We all know that over the last several days, we've heard a lot about these 3 Israeli hostages that were killed by Israeli troops there. We know that, the IDF has taken full responsibility, and they have posted a video where they're talking to the troops about exactly what to do. So can you kind of break that down for me? What, I guess, the IDF is learning about what they need to be doing out there in the field that maybe they weren't?
Josh, this is an absolute tragedy, something that we didn't plan for, and something that our forces on the ground were faced with, and the outcome is painful to all of us, and we are indeed pained by the outcome, the tragic outcome of the 3 hostages that were killed in the in what appears to be their attempt to escape or come to safety. But it is a direct result of Hamas's cynical use of the civilian arena and how they are conducting themselves on the battleground in Gaza. This event that took place in Sajaya in the north eastern part of the Gaza Strip is in the reality an area which was under and still continues to be an extensive battlefield. And of course, the forces there are facing many threats that originate within the civilian arena. Hamas have set up the urban environment as a combat complex, and they are utilizing it. And indeed, when the 3 approached the forces, there was a misunderstanding, a mistake. Gives us some insight to what was actually happening on the ground on those tragic moments.
And I am showing that video off to the left side of the screen, a major tunnel that was found here. And I know that this is Hamas footage that I guess was recovered there by the IDF. What can you tell me about this tunnel right there?
Josh, this is a huge tunnel, and it is an unbelievable investment that Hamas has poured literally tons and tons of cement into the ground to build this vast network. I would say that the tunnel network is the most expensive and expansive construction project ever to exist in Gaza. What we revealed yesterday was a tunnel that was around 4 kilometers long, 50 meters deep, with electricity, with communications capabilities, wide enough for a car to drive down, high enough for them to drive in, and indeed extensive in their efforts to conduct terrorism and conduct their attacks against us. We saw this tunnel, we've known it, and we studied it over the last few weeks in the ground operation. And indeed, we have revealed to the world once more how much and to what extent Hamas will go in order to conduct attacks against Israel and try and safeguard their capabilities. I would say that any Hamas terrorist hiding in a tunnel needs to be very, very cautious, needs to be very, very afraid, because they are not an advantage in the battleground. They can most definitely become a death trap.
And one thing I've heard from at least one of the hostages that's spoken, we've heard from several of them, but one of them saying that they wanted to warn the IDF troops, the soldiers there, against going into the tunnels, saying that they are very dangerous. Have you heard anything about that? I know a lot of the information is coming in very quickly, but have you heard anything about that?
Well, of course, the tunnels pose a substantial threat, but from our perspective, over the last 10 years, we've developed techniques technology, and tactics to address that threat. What we're seeing in how we revealed this tunnel yesterday just goes to show that we can reveal and expose Hamas for their intentions, but also in how vast and how extensive their efforts to try and conceal their activities are. The reality that Hamas thought that they could get away with this at the expense of the people of Gaza and threatening the people of Israel is just ridiculous. We won't let them take advantage of us. We will utilize all of the tools that we have in our ability to reveal them, kill them in the tunnels, and destroy the tunnel network.
All right, Lieutenant Colonel Peter Lerner, before I let you go here, anything else that you want to make sure that people out there are aware of as the war does continue here? We're about 10 weeks in and really showing no signs of letting up, I'd imagine, until Hamas is destroyed. Is there anything else that you want to add that you want to make sure people are aware of?
Josh, 2 points I'd like to point out. First of all, we're in this war to win it. We have no choice. That is our obligation to the people of Israel. That is our obligation for the safety and security of the people of Israel. And second, I would say, this is the holiday season. We all pray for a peaceful time. We need to make sure that that peace comes to all of the people in the region.
All right, Lieutenant Colonel Peter Lerner there with the Israel Defense Forces. As always, thank you so much for taking the time to join us and help break down the latest information. We appreciate it.
Have a good day, Josh.
You too. All right, everybody, and I do want to take
the JobNet.